This video is brought to you by John Robson Guitar Tuition. If you enjoy the content, please consider supporting the channel by enrolling on a course, purchasing some guitar lessons or a t-shirt, or you can join my Patreon. Now, on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. It's a tale of two Les Pauls today. This, rather fetching Epiphone 59 limited edition Les Paul, essentially a collaboration between Epiphone and the Gibson Custom Shop. Been curious about this particular Epiphone guitar for quite a while now, so we're looking at that and pitting it against this. This is my Gibson Les Paul Tribute. So essentially what we've got here is something from the bottom end of, the top end rather, of the Epiphone family tree, and something from the lower reaches of the Gibson family tree. And I was just curious, and have been curious for a while, about how they measure up. Which one's better? Which one would I prefer, to kind of keep long term? Well, let the games begin. So before we go any further, as usual, there is a full tab for that little piece of music in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats, along with a clip of me playing it and a jam track for you to play along with yourself. All of that is up on my Patreon page. There's the address, link in the description. $3, or as I'm sure you know, £2.50 each month will get you access to all of these additional resources and goodies that go along with these YouTube videos. A massive, massive thank you to everyone who supports me in that or any of the other ways, all of which are, you know where, linked down below in the description. While we're on the topic of housekeeping and getting that sort of stuff out the way, as usual, the guitar tones there were courtesy of my Marshall DSL-1 combo, mic'd up with the Behringer B906 microphone and just recorded straight into Reaper. I was using those settings there for the crunchy kind of power chordy sort of bits, and just backing the guitar's volume off to clean it up a little bit. And then for the shoutier stuff, I was stomping on the New X Horseman pedal. Great little pedal that, and I'm really, really loving the lead tones it gives me. So there you go. Right. I'm going to tell you all about the, my thoughts and conclusions on both guitars later on in the video, but I think it's probably wise at this point to go through the weights and measures for the guitars. So starting with the Epiphone 59 Les Paul, we have a nut width of 42.5mm and a weight of 4.12 kilos. DC pickup resistance readings are the bridge is 8.27k, neck is 7.92, and in the middle position you've got 4.04k, and you can see the 1st and 12th fret neck profiles there. Same kind of information for the Gibson. There we can see 42.2mm nut, slightly lighter guitar, 3.71 kilos, bridge pickup is 7.71k, neck is 7.54, and in the middle it's 3.81, and once again you've got the neck profiles there, the 1st and 12th fret. So that's all the kind of technical sort of stuff out of the way. What do I think of this guitar, this rather lovely Epiphone, as opposed to the Gibson? Well, I don't yet own the Epiphone. It's been sort of sent to me on approval by a very generous chap who's a viewer of this channel, and he just said, if you like it, pay me the money. If you don't, sell it and send me the money. So I've got to decide whether I'm going to kind of put my hand in my pocket and keep this. The thing is, I always say I can't justify two guitars of the same type, but I've got two Telecasters in here, so it's listening to that demo piece there, I think I detected a little bit more clarity and kind of top-end sparkle from this guitar. Not that this guitar is lacking in it. This is the Gibson, this is the Epiphone. The Epiphone had just that little bit more top-end clarity, I think, than the Gibson. As I say, not that the Gibson is lacking in it, but it was just a little bit more present here. As a result, I think marginally I prefer the sound of the Epiphone. But by a country mile, I prefer the feel of the Gibson, and it's much easier, I think, well, it stands to reason, it's much easier to modify the sound of a guitar than it is to modify the feel of a guitar. What I think is something of a missed opportunity on this Epiphone, to be honest with you, is the finish. It's got what they call, I think in last week's video I mistakenly called it a satin finish. It's not a satin finish. When you look at the specs, it is what they call an aged gloss finish. And it does have that kind of gloss finish, kind of plasticky kind of feel to it. I prefer the finish on this guitar to the kind of sticky gloss nitro finish that you get on a Les Paul Standard, Gibson Les Paul Standard. Not a fan of that kind of feel at all. It always feels like you need to kind of rub your hands down with some wet wipes after it. But I do prefer the satin nitro finish on my Gibson. So the finish on this guitar does feel somewhat plasticky. Now, just thinking back to another Epiphone Les Paul that I reviewed last year, the Epiphone Les Paul Classic Worn, the gold top one, that had a really nice satin finish. And that guitar, you could tell you had like a lump of timber under your fingers rather than just something. I mean, this guitar, the neck on this, you can't tell whether it's made from, by feel, you can't tell whether it's made from mahogany or carbon fibre. It's a comfortable neck. It's not, it doesn't kind of impede your movement or anything. It's a very smooth, slick feeling neck, but it just feels a little bit, as I say, plasticky. Whereas that Epiphone Les Paul Classic Worn had a really kind of woody kind of feeling neck, and I would be absolutely, I would be finding this a much more difficult decision if this guitar had the same kind of neck as that Epiphone. But it is what it is. It has this kind of plasticky feeling finish to it, which, is always... the way a guitar feels is the immediate impression that it leaves on you when you're playing it. It's a beautiful guitar to play, lovely low slinky action and everything, but it's just that sort of, that kind of, I'll use the word again, plasticky feel that I find a little bit off-putting. I'm finding that I'm kind of picking this guitar up. It's difficult to do when you're kind of looking at yourself in the monitor. Picking this guitar up much more often than I'm picking this one up. I think marginally prefer the sound on this one, and I would say that this is a better guitar than a lot of Gibsons, but not this one. So this is the one that's staying. I've had this guitar now getting on for a year. I think I got it last April, and it's taken me 30 years to find a single cut, a Les Paul style guitar that I've really bonded with emotionally, and that's why this one is staying. And if anybody's interested, this one will be probably up on eBay by the time this video goes live. So if you're interested, get in touch and maybe we can come to some sort of arrangement. As I say, I'm going to be I'm effectively selling this guitar for someone. So I just want to say a massive thank you to you. You know who you are. I won't mention your name in the video, but the person who's let me be the custodian of this guitar to check it out and do these videos I've done with it, and I will endeavour to try and get you a good price for it, mate. But that is the video for today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed what you've seen and found it useful and informative in some small way, and if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. Why not drop me a like while you're at it? Don't forget the live stream every Friday 5 PM UK time, where we drink beer and talk about music and guitars. A fantastic way to kick off the weekend, I'm sure you'll agree, and I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.